Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here. Welcome back to a brand new Bucchigiri match tutorial. Today we are going to be going over how to reroll in Bucchigiri match. I really wanted to make a tutorial on this game because I've been playing it for the last couple days and I've been really enjoying it. But I didn't want to make something that's already been made, like D3 made a video on how to actually get the game. So definitely go check out his video. It'll be linked in the description if you want to actually learn how to get the game. As well, this video won't necessarily be about how to play the game. I believe D3 is going to make a tutorial on that if it's not up already. I might in the future, I don't know, we'll see. But regardless, this video is neither of those things. This video is simply how to reroll in the game and show you the process to do so as well. This video is not necessarily showing you what you should reroll for. Excuse me. There are a lot of different units that you can reroll for in the game. Sure, I might go through a couple as we're kind of going through the process here, but this video is simply the process that you need to perform rerolls on Bucchigiri match. Now, with all those disclaimers in mind, let's get into it. I am doing this on Nox because I already have everything set up on my phone and I wanted to do it from the very beginning for you guys, have a fresh start, and install everything right away. Now, there are a couple of things that we're going to need and a couple of things we're going to do. First of all, before you even do anything on your device, you should be logged into, obviously, Google Play or Apple. By the way, of course, this does work on your actual phone. I'm just doing it on Nox because, again, that's the easiest way for me to just have a fresh start on all this. Now, I will tell you, I'm not necessarily familiar too much with Apple stuff, so I assume it's the same process on Apple, but if it's not, I apologize. I use Android myself, and this is how I did it on my own Android phone. So here's what we're going to do. Obviously, you should have a Google Play Store login. You should already be logged in here so you can install apps, because obviously we're going to need some apps to be able to play the game. So the first thing that you're going to need is Google Chrome, obviously, a internet browser that is, of course, well known in the internet community, of course, and you're going to need this app called Line. Now, Line is very important to get because this is how you back up your Bucchigiri match account, and this is how you log in if you lose your account, or how you can log in on different devices. And you can actually log into the game on multiple devices and have it loaded on multiple devices at the same time, which is pretty cool as well. So we're going to close the Play Store now, and we're going to wait for apps to download. Obviously, as you can see at the top of the screen, they are downloading up there. They'll appear on our home screen in a second here when they're done downloading. So of course, navigate to wherever your apps download, and they of course will be there. We're going to cut until the apps actually install so we don't have to wait for it. Alright, so now both of our apps are installed here. As you can see, we have Google Chrome and Line. I will say, before we get into everything here, you're probably wondering, why can't I just use my default browser that is on my device, i.e. the Samsung Internet or Safari or whatever it may be? From personal experience, at least just on my device, the game has not properly run on the default browser on the phone, so I decided not to use it as well, since every browser is different when it comes to the default on the phone. Heck, the Nox browser, of course, is different than what you will probably have on your phone if you're not doing it on Nox. I decided to go with Google Chrome to simplify it since everybody could do it, and plus it's the superior web browser anyhow. So let's hop into it here. Hey guys, I wanted to pause the video real quick to give you a quick disclaimer. To reroll, you are going to need to reset the data on your browser. So if Google Chrome is the main browser that you use, whether it be PC or mobile, definitely get another browser if you don't want to lose all of your cookies and password data and everything like that. I would not recommend using it, again, if it is your main browser, if you don't want to lose all that stuff. Just kind of giving you a warning. So we will be showing pictures of the different options that you can use when it actually applies, but for now, if Chrome is your main browser, I would recommend go ahead and download Firefox or another browser that you can get the game to work on. I know for some people the game has been working fine on Chrome on PC. For me, it has not been working fine on Chrome on PC. different apps on mobile have been running the game fine and some apps have not been running the game okay. So just kind of tinker around and just see if you can get the game to run all right. The basic process is the same on each browser. You're basically just going to clear the data. We'll get more into detail of it obviously later in the video, but I just wanted to give you guys this fair warning before we got too deep into it. So if your Chrome is your main browser, then go ahead and install a new browser right now besides Chrome. We're going to open up our Google Chrome app. I personally am not going to do this just because I'll be literally using it for that. Going to censor out my email there, but don't worry about it. It's just because I have a email logged in, of course, for Google Play and all that on this particular instance of Knox. But just know your email is going to be there. Now, we have the regular Google page here. What you're going to want to do is paste the link in the description to the game, this goenza.fun link. That is going to take you right to the game. As well, if you need another place to get this link, the link that is on the Bucchigiri match Twitter at Bucchigiri_info is the direct link to the game here. Now, the game's going to load up in a second here, and we are going to go through the tutorial. I am going to go through the tutorial completely one time because I want you guys to just see what everything is. Now, UI Goku is the current banner unit as well as Jiren at the time of this recording. So, as you can see, there the boys are. So they're going to pop up there on the little movie. What's cool too is that you can turn the sound on and off right here. So that's pretty cool. We're going to start the game with no sound, even though there's no sound coming through OBS anyway. We're going to click our little doohickey there, and we're going to go ahead and load through the game. Now, like I said, this is going to be, a little bit tedious because unfortunately, well, I actually didn't say this part yet. What I meant to say, oh yeah, sometimes UI Goku sometimes the menu just likes to load twice. It's just a thing. No idea why it does that, but it does that. So don't worry about it if it happens to you. Now, we have the tutorial here. Usually the Google Translate thing doesn't pop up so much, but now it's coming through like every time, but that's okay. Anyhow, though, like I said, we are going to go through this one time just because I want to show you the complete tutorial process. It is quite easy to do, but just so you know everything you're supposed to click since it all is in Japanese. Then, obviously, we're going to show you how to do the reroll, and we're going to show you how to do everything you need to do to be able to get a good account. Now, we have a little tutorial here, just some really cool cutscenes, actually. The art in this game is absolutely fantastic, and I love the animations as well. I will admit, some of it is a little bit low quality in terms of the pixels, but that is because it is a browser game, and it's meant to be able to run pretty smoothly in your browser, right? It's not as high quality as an app, because obviously an app can download all of its own data and run from that. This is obviously running on your phone from a website. Now, another thing too, I did say that you can do the same process of rerolling and of course play the game on your regular PC browser as well. It is a little bit more complicated. I would recommend just rerolling on mobile or even a Knox emulator and then just putting it on your PC if you want to. But when we do certain steps, I will put on the screen the changes that are going to be there when you do it on PC. Now, let's get into the tutorial here. Excuse me, I'm stuttering over my words. Now, we're going to pick Gohan here. He's the first card. The tutorial is pretty self-explanatory. It's just trying to teach you how to play the game. It kind of highlights what you need to click. Whenever there's a text box on screen, just click it so that the text box continues. Nothing too complicated here, but I've done the tutorial so many times from rerolling that I have memorized what to click by now. Usually I'm clicking through a little bit faster than this. Weird flex, I know, but I just kind of want to show you what you got to do. So obviously when something comes up like this, you're going to be clicking your green boxes. Pretty simple stuff here. Frieza's going to be doing his thing. Now again, I'm not going to be explaining how to actually play the game in this video. This is simply how to reroll. Again, like I said, by the way, we're going to click Krillin here. I don't know if I'm going to do a video exactly how to play. I might in the future. If D-Free does end up making a video on it, because I know he's trying to start the Bucchigiri match community up a little bit, I'll of course, spread that video out as well. Alright, so Frieza is going to take down Krillin here in the tutorial, just like it is in the show, to showcase some of these wonderful animations from this game. It is lagging a little bit on Nox, but I think that's just because it's Nox. I'm not sure why it's lagging a little bit, to be perfectly honest with you. It's usually fine. I will admit, the best places I've got it to run are Google Chrome on my phone, Firefox on my phone, and Firefox on PC. So that's what I would recommend playing it on. Now, of course, you know, there's no reason to use Nox since you can play it on PC, but I'm just using Nox purely for the fact that I wanted a clean Android to show you everything. Now, we are going to pick this Goku here, which is going to showcase the Super Saiyan animation, which looks really cool. A type of card in the game is called Limit Breaker, sort of like a transformation mechanic. So that's going to happen in 1 second once the game decides to load here. I believe this is just because I'm running it on Nox, I think. So don't worry about that. Whatever device you're using it on, it'll work fine as well. This isn't as bad actually as when I was using it on Google Chrome on PC. For some reason, PC Google Chrome does not really like this game, which is odd because Google Chrome on my phone runs it fantastic. That's actually what I mainly play it on. Alright, so now after you click and Goku does his thing, you can just kind of watch the madness ensue here, because after you click and Goku does his attack, the game just kind of plays itself for a little bit to show you the tutorial. Again, beautiful animations here. The background changes a little bit. Goku's hitting it with a Kamehameha. Like I was saying, you can kind of see the pixel quality a little bit on the, you know, explosion from the Kamehameha there, unfortunately. But again, since it's a browser game, it has to be a little bit low quality so it can run easier on different devices. Then we have this nice animation where Goku hits him with that Hakai, and Frieza goes down. Now, unfortunately, this tutorial is not the only one that you have to do to reroll. To reroll, you have to do 2 tutorials, which I know kind of stinks, but that's just the way it is. So we just have to deal with it. Now, of course, once you kind of get in the rhythm of rerolling, this process will be a lot faster. But of course, I'm kind of going through and explaining things just so you guys can get a better picture of what's going on here. Of course, any little pop-ups, you just click a green button to get rid of them. It's just telling you how the game works. This, by the way, is a little important. The Z coins, the Zenny, are the in-game currency. You can think of it like Zenny in any other game. And this red thing here is the in-game currency that is purchasable, i.e. Chrono Crystals, Dragon Stones, that sort of thing. You get 300 from that little tutorial there. Now, you do get more per reroll. At the moment, you get at least 1 multi per reroll. Okay, this is the one thing that I will explain a little bit about the game, just because it is something that you absolutely have to pick whenever you reroll. This is a starter deck for you. Since this game is a card-based game, obviously they want you to have a deck to start the game off with. There are advantages and disadvantages to each of these decks. We'll go through them really quickly, just to kind of give you the rundown on each. Bardock is a very good beginner deck. Very easy to play. You want to play your Great Apes, your lower units first, and then Bardock to come in and kind of, you know, clean up shop. He is a very good unit, but for late game, these cards don't really do much for you except for the GT Shinron there. You want Shinron cards in the game, so this is a good team to pick for the Shinron, and when you're starting out, it is a good team, but unfortunately, you cannot get these decks. You can get the cards from the decks, like you can get stuff in this Goku deck, but unfortunately, you know, you can't go ahead and just like pick the whole deck again, right? The Goku deck, by the way, is a pretty good deck to work with. It is definitely good if you're trying to build a team based around Goku, like the UI Goku right now works really well with other Goku cards. So if you're trying to think long term, I would say this team is definitely a good option, since it has, you know, the Kaioken Goku there, the Super Saiyan Goku, of course. And the Vegeta team is the one that I unfortunately know the least about. I've heard that it's alright, but I've heard from some people that it's the worst out of 3. I've heard some people say that it is a little bit better of the 3. There is obviously some decent cards in here, though. I will say, though, I would personally recommend either the Goku or the Bardock deck, but it's of course what you can choose as well. You can kind of just go ahead and pick whatever character sort of suits your fancy. I'm a big fan of Bardock, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bardock deck. That's what I've been doing on all my rerolls. you're going to click yes. So for that deck, you kind of just pick whatever you want. Pick the character that you like the most, or if you really want to get technical with it, you know, think about the decks in the way it was kind of explaining. Now, as well, another thing, just so you can have a little bit more info about this, if you do have anything in terms of questions about the game, there is a Bucchigiri match Discord, which I will leave in the link in the description below. They do some great work over there as well. There's, you know, rooms where you can ask your questions and whatnot. So if you have any questions about that, definitely go in there. I'm actually in there, so if you got a question, you can ask me too. Now, back to the rerolling. So this is just a login bonus right now. Obviously, that's the UI Goku. You get the 500 there. You get 50 for this login bonus. You get 300 there. Yada, yada, yada. Just your standard login bonus stuff. Now, here's what's sort of unfortunate about this. You can't do your reroll yet because you can't click on any of this yet. You have to do the tutorial. The game forces you into it. I know it's kind of unfortunate, but it's just what you got to do. So you do this little Yamcha tutorial here. It's gonna be a little bit of a goof. They do kind of meme on Yamcha here though, but this tutorial is much shorter than the Goku one, so definitely don't worry about this part taking a little bit of time. Another thing I do want to note about this before we actually start this bit of the tutorial: if you disconnect from internet while you're on your phone during the tutorial for the Goku and Frieza fight, you'll be sent all the way back to the beginning of the tutorial. This happened to me multiple times and it really stunk. So don't lose connection to the internet while you're in the tutorial. Complete the tutorial. The quote-unquote checkpoint is when you get to that home screen that we were just on, you know, with Goku there and the login bonuses and all that. Then it's like, all right, they finished that tutorial. Then you go to this tutorial and the same thing applies here. If you lose connection in the middle of this tutorial, you have to start it all over, but the nice thing is you'll go to the home screen after you finish the Goku and Frieza tutorial, so you don't have to do that one again if you lose connection during this one. So just make sure you have decent connection when you're rerolling on your phone. I have actually had it disconnect on me in the PC version, which makes no sense to me because it's on a computer connected to the internet, and how could it lose connection? But it's happened to me before. So if it happens, you just kind of got to work through it. Of course, we're just clicking through here. It is going to prompt you to pick TN. So yeah, just be careful with that connection thing. I just wanted to mention that in case that happens. If a connection error does happen, it'll just say like caution or error and then a bunch of numbers for the error code. Just to click the green button, it'll bring you back to the blue Goku screen where it says tap, and then it'll bring you back to the home screen and leave you off wherever you were, whether it was before the tutorial or whatnot. By the way, that Gohan before the Goku and Frieza tutorial, I think I forgot to mention this. I did obviously show you click the yellow button there. That is just the terms and agreements stuff, you know, standard. By the way, clicking through the text boxes, of course, we're going to click Yamcha here, and he's going to get memed down by the Cybermen. But if you do, you know, lose connection during the Goku and Frieza tutorial, you'll be kicked back to that, and you'll have to do the license agreement again. It's literally just clicking the yellow button. It's not a big deal, but just so you know. So just be careful with your connection and all that. Alright, so we're still here. The last card that we're going to pick is Piccolo, and then we will be done with this tutorial, and we can finally do our reroll. So we're going to click our Piccolo there. He is going to come out and do the special beam cannon, and bada bing, bada boom will be good. So very cool. I do, again, love the animations in this game. They're so cool. Even though they are a little bit pixely, which is kind of unfortunate, they still look really cool. And obviously some of the, you know, more special cards in the game have different animations besides just, you know, beams flying across the screen, which is cool. Alright, so we have defeated Vegeta, and Piccolo is our winner. I know this is also, just wanted to point this out, the win logo is like really weird. I don't know why they styled it like that. That's what it's supposed to say. It's supposed to say win, but whatever. That's how you know you won. Anyhow though, we're going to be finally booted back to the actual part where we can do the reroll now. I believe it's going to take us now, yes, it's going to give us our 50 stones for completing that little tutorial there. I believe it's going to kick us back to the banner screen because it wants you to summon, yeah. So we'll kind of go through all of this in 1 second. These banners are going to take a second to load here. But first, we need to collect our login rewards. So At the time of this recording, you do get a free SR, which is pretty cool. It's a Goku and Frieza SR from Revival of F. As well, you get plenty of these stones, as you can see, perfect for rerolling. So that yellow button there is our collect all button. Then we're going to click that yellow button to confirm, and now it will collect all of our items. There you go. And of course, in 1 second here, it'll pop up with a little animation. There you go. So this is your free Goku and Frieza card that you get for starting the game. I'm not exactly sure if this is a promotion right now, or if you just get it for starting the game, but I just know at the time of this recording, you get that card. But if you don't get it, that's okay. It's not a big deal. Just a little bit of a bonus, right? Alright, so this is prompting you to do a little bit of a something extra for our Gohan UR. Don't worry about this right now. Just click the green button to ignore it. Now, here's where we get into the fun stuff, the re-rolling. So, at the current time, there are two big banners live. There is the UI Goku banner and the Jiren banner, right? The other banners up, I'll give you a little bit of an explanation. This is a free SR banner. You summon on this, you get an SR guaranteed, which is pretty cool, and you don't have to pay a penny on it. Now, you can get URs from this banner. They're not particularly the best, but it is still pretty cool to get one from this. Obviously, it's just a little bit of an extra thing to add to your arsenal. So you can re-roll on this. You know, you can kind of add it to your stone re-roll. Of course, the stones is what we're going to be looking at mainly. But if you want to try and, you know, get a UR out of the stones and then get a UR out of this banner as well, you can. But it's not necessary, but it is something you can do, so you can get a UR of this. Now, on this banner, as you can see, there are a couple of featured units, and I will explain a little bit about the banners just so we know. There's obviously UI Goku, the Gallic Gun, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Super Saiyan Trunks. Father, Son, Gallic Gun, Father, Son, Kamehameha, Family Kamehameha, rather. Gallic Gun Vegeta, Kaioken Goku, and SSBK, which is pretty cool. And then over here on the Jiren banner, we of course have the man himself, Jiren. Then we have that same Gallic Gun Father Son. Then we have Hit, which is pretty cool. Then we have again the Gallic Gun Vegeta, and what this is really cool, a transforming Broly card. So there are transformation cards in this game. They're called Limit Breakers, which is pretty cool. And a future Gohan. Fun fact, he actually does have one arm. I know it's kind of hard to tell because it's like cut off there, no pun intended. But he does have one arm, which is pretty cool. This banner is a UR Gohan banner, but you need, you just don't worry about this banner, is the point here. You can reroll on it, but I would not recommend it. It's definitely not, you know, worth it. It's a good card, but it's not, you know, as powerful as UI Goku and Jiren. This, too, is just another sort of, like, you know, older UR sort of thing. As you can see, this is some of the units that were in those teams that we were, you know, we had to pick one or the other. This is an opportunity to pick up some cards here, but I would not recommend using your stones on this banner. You can do a single for 100 though, so why not? Now, let's go into the actual banner here. It is 300 for a single and 3,000 for a multi-summon. As you can see, we have enough for one multi. Now, I would recommend doing multis because it is SR guaranteed, and the SRs are actually good. It's not like if you don't, you know, if you don't have a full team URs, your team is terrible, right? You need URs, you need Rs, and sometimes you can even use some N units in your deck. But obviously URs are the best, so that's what you want to be re-rolling for, right? So let's go ahead into it. We're going to click the yellow button to confirm after clicking our multi-summon button, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I'll have a list of animations on the screen that you want to be looking for, because there are some certain things that you want to happen here to make sure that you get a good reroll, or just, you know, kind of hype it up a little bit. So I'll go through this first, and then I'll kind of share what you want to get. So we have Goku and Vegeta doing the clash. They did not go Super Saiyan during the clash. We have Super Saiyan Goku here. This will always happen during a multi-summon, and I'll explain a little bit how this differs to a single summon in a second. So you just hold it down, swipe it, whatever. Goku is going to stay Super Saiyan, which is a little bit unfortunate. And we are going to have a normal animation. Alright. So real quick, let me go through everything that you could possibly get here. When Goku and Vegeta are duking it out, they could go Super Saiyan. That doesn't necessarily matter for a multi-summon though, because that automatically leads into the Super Saiyan Goku pull thing, and that's more so for single summons, so don't worry about if they go Super Saiyan during the clash. Now, there is also two more things that can happen when Goku, is in that Super Saiyan doing the Kamehameha, and these are two more guaranteed UR animations. If there are more, I'm not aware of them. This is just what I've seen from rerolling. If Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, it's guaranteed UR, or if Goku does the Kamehameha like you saw and the screen flashes white, and then Vegeta cuts in and helps out in Super Saiyan Blue form, it is guaranteed UR. He can't cut in with any other form, but when he cuts in with Blue, that is also guaranteed UR. Now, there is an animation that I'm not aware of because I did do a reroll where I skipped the multi because you can skip the all clicking through the cards. And I did get a UR when there was no animation initially to indicate that I was going to get one. So I'm not positive what that animation necessarily is. You just click through here, by the way, to sort of, kind of pick your cards here. There's going to be an SR. Ooh, Trunks. Okay, cool. All the cards in this game are animated, by the way, which is awesome. But there is an animation that I'm assuming is an SR to a UR, but I'm not positive because obviously I haven't seen it myself because I skipped it and I didn't see what happened, unfortunately. But that can happen because, like I said, no indication of a UR happened, and I still got a UR in the multi, so it's still possible. Now, we did our multi-summon, right? As you can see, all of the animations that you want to be looking for on the side there. Here's where things differ. So we're not going to worry about that. Just click off of it. It's going to try and bring you back to the home screen because it wants you to place some stuff. Don't worry about that for the reroll. Now, single summons do differ a little bit, and I'm going to show you why here. So hopefully this actually goes well because obviously this part is completely RNG in terms of, single summoning. I would not necessarily recommend doing rerolls on singles because obviously you want to be, by the way, just pull down here, obviously. You want to be as efficient as you can with your rerolls, but if you want to throw a couple of singles in there just for fun on the reroll, go for it. Now, as you saw, Goku and Vegeta stayed base form during their clash, and obviously nothing after that particularly exciting happened. If Goku and Vegeta go Super Saiyan after that clash, it will be that frame right there, the one that's the last frame. They'll go Super Saiyan. Then Super Saiyan Goku appears on the screen. For single summons, he will not appear on the screen if they do not go Super Saiyan in the clash. And then, if they do go Super Saiyan in the clash, all of the stuff that I was talking about for in terms of UR animations applies to the Super Saiyan Goku. Then that's when all that stuff matters for single summons. Otherwise, if they don't go Super Saiyan in the clash, nothing's going to happen, unfortunately. Now, I'm not positive if you... Okay, so we did get that Super Saiyan there. Good. I wanted to make sure I got it on video. I'm not positive if they can go base form and you can still get a UR with a surprise animation. I'm kind of assuming that that can happen, considering I got, an animation that didn't have any UR indicator and I still got one on a multi-summon, but I'm not positive. Now, let's just see what we get here. Goku is going to stay Super Saiyan, so it's most likely going to be an SR unless the boy Vegeta comes through. And, oh, he did come through. Okay, so that is what the animation looks like for Vegeta, which is pretty cool. And this is going to be UR here. Ooh, SSBK. Okay, cool. So that's pretty cool. And some of them have a special summon animation like this, which is so cool. That's another thing I really like about this game, these special summon animations. Now, that is pretty much everything you need to know. Oh yeah, this is telling you to link to line, which we'll go ahead and do later, but don't do it through here. At least I wouldn't recommend doing it. Just click the green button for now. So that's all you gotta know for rerolling in terms of summons. Again, in terms of characters you want to go for, I guess I'll go through it briefly. I won't talk about it too much. Also, you can't hold down the character and look at it here, which is kind of weird, but whatever. If you want to do, or if you want to look at the characters that you got, you can click here, and then when you're building your team, you can look at all of the cards that you got. So once it loads here, I'll show you that. So what you're looking for basically in terms of rerolls is any sort of big kahuna cards like that are featured on the banners. Obviously, UI Goku and Jiren are amazing. Your, Roses, your hits, Gogeta. Blue Gogeta is in this game, by the way. He's Super Saiyan into blue. And base form Gogeta is in this game as well. Here's that Kaioken Goku, by the way. You view your card here. which is pretty cool. You see the little animation there, and then you can scroll through your cards here. Now, you can get, just quick side note, you can get blue Gogeta and base form Gogeta on this banner. They are in there. So if you want to reroll for them, that is a possibility, which is, I think, is really cool that units that were like, you know, big featured units kind of just get put into these banners. I'm not exactly sure how it works entirely in terms of the general UR pool, but they are on this banner, which is pretty cool. Now, you know everything that you need to know in terms of the actual summoning part, right? Let's get into how you actually reroll this boy. So, you're going to want to go into your Google Chrome settings. You're going to click the little 3 dots up here, aka what people call the hamburger. You're going to want to click your settings. This up here is going to be if you want to sync your Chrome. You know, obviously that'll be there for you if you have your Chrome synced. If not, then don't worry about it. But that's going to be censored because that has my email there. Now, you're going to want to go to privacy. You're going to want to go to clear browsing data, and you're going to want to go right here. Now, the reason why you have to clear your browser data is because the game is saved to your browser until you link it to a Line account. So, if you refresh your data on your browser, you will lose your account unless it is linked. So just keep that in mind. As well, sometimes you can have your browsers linked, like, you know, you can link your Google Chrome on your computer and on your phone. And I'm not positive if this will happen, but if you clear it on your computer, it might clear it on your phone, and then you could lose your data on your phone if it's on there. So just be very careful. Obviously, once you get the account you want, you're going to want to link it to Line, and then you'll be completely fine. But for the sake of the video, we're obviously going to do our reroll here. So to reroll the account and refresh it, we're going to click our clear data button here, and then obviously it'll pop up with the website right there, and then Google, because that's what we first logged into. We're going to click clear, and then it will get rid of all of our data. So now it is good. So we'll hit back again, and it will bring us back to this web page here. It's kind of just stuck on this because this is what you were on last. So all you got to do, go up to the top, hit your refresh button, whatever that is for you, and it will automatically take you back to the beginning of the game. Or at least it should. We'll see what happens when it loads. Yeah, there we go. The link wasn't changing. That's why I was getting a little bit worried. So once you clear all your data, then your account is gone, and it will take you back to the main screen. As you can see here, this is our login with our Super Saiyan Blue Goku. It'll say tap in 1 second here. Yep, I kind of clicked through it too fast there, but that's okay. So obviously UI Goku's coming through again, just kind of advertising the current banner. We're going to turn off our sound again, and our account is completely gone. So we're going to go ahead and click here. Like I said, it sometimes just likes to do the main screen twice. I don't know why. Just don't worry about it. UI Goku going to pop up again. We're going to click to Bucchigiri match. Once it loads, you will see that the game is now back to how it was when you first started. As you can see, the URL as well changes to the link and then /tutorial, showing you that you're playing through the tutorial again. This is what I was talking about before. You just click the yellow button. This is just the terms and service agreement. And then you are back to the Goku and Frieza tutorial. Now, we're not going to go through this again, obviously, because I showed you how to do it. But I am going to play through this account. I'll cut to when I am done with the tutorial, and then I'll show you how to link your account once you have the reroll that you're looking for. Alright, so we have a reroll that we want, right? We got this cool Gallic Gun, Vegeta, and Trunks. We were like, alright, I'm satisfied with this reroll. Now, necessarily, this might not be a reroll I would particularly keep, but for the sake of the video, we're going to go ahead and keep it. Now, again, you're just clicking your green thing here, and here's what we're going to do. This is a very, very, very important step, so make sure you're listening closely. This is where you link your Enza account, which is technically your Line account. We'll talk about it in a second. So the website that this game uses to link to back up your game is called Enza, which is run through Line. So you can use your Enza account, or excuse me, you can use your Line account to back this up through Enza. I'll show you. It's not as complicated as it sounds. If you can scroll down, then scroll down to the bottom. Either way, when you're doing this whole process, you're going to click the colored buttons in the top right corner there, and it'll pop this menu out. Like I said, if you can scroll down, do it. But you're going to look for this option right here with more colored dots here that says Enza. You're going to click that, and it's going to take you right here to the Enza website. Now, you're probably looking at this like, what am I looking at? There's anime girls in my face. There's a baseball man yelling at me. What's going on here? Here's what we're going to do. This button is log in to your Enza account, and this button is create new account. Obviously, create new account is what we want, so you're going to click this dark white text here. This is very important. This is going to ask you to log in. You can either use a Bandai Namco ID or your line account. You're going to want to use the line account. So we're going to click the green line button, and this is where our line app is going to come in. So it's going to prompt you to jump over to line, or it might just automatically throw you into the line app. Either way, doesn't really matter. You can do always or just once, whatever you want it to do. If you want it to try and log in with line every time, or if you want it to be just this once, I'm just going to have it be just this once for the sake of it. Sometimes when you click that, it doesn't work the first time, and then it takes you over there finally. So you just click it again if it doesn't work the first time when you select what you want it to take you to. This will happen sometimes as well. As you can see right there on that last screen, it was going to ask you to log in, but it didn't actually take us to the app. It eventually did. It just took a second. But it also, at the bottom there in that text, I'll flash the picture back up on screen. It said log in with line app. If it doesn't automatically take you to the app, just click that and then it should take you there. Now, let's go ahead and log into Line. We're going to make a new account. Obviously, this is just the standard Line stuff. If you're wondering what Line is, by the way, it's just a little bit of a messaging app. So if you need a new messaging app, there you go. Now you have one. There is a PC version of this, by the way, like I said, but it's just a little bit more complicated because you actually have to download the app, and it's not a website if you want to do it on PC. Of course, for the PC stuff, I will have it on the side screen, but what I recommend doing is making a Line account on your Android phone. This is actually probably what I'm going to put on the sidebar because it's a lot more difficult to just download the app like on the computer and all that. What I would recommend doing is getting Line on your phone and then making your account that way. And if you are logging with PC, then put your Line password and username in there. Or you can download Nox and then do it that way. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sign up, or when I say download Nox and do it that way, I mean download the Line app and then make your account that way. Obviously, we are not going to use our phone number here because we ain't given Line that opportunity. So here's the cool thing about this. All of y'all should have a Facebook account, I'm assuming. So you will need a Facebook account for this. If you don't have one, go ahead and make one. It's really easy. You can just make one with a fake name or whatever. Doesn't really matter. But if you do play Dokkan, which is what this channel is all about, of course, you should have a Facebook account to back up your Dokkan anyway. So here's what we're going to do. With Line, instead of actually logging in with Line, because you can kind of, check like, hey, why is it, why is it making me use my phone number, whatever. Instead of using a phone number, because obviously you don't necessarily want to give it your phone number, you log in with Facebook, which is the easy option. So you're going to log in with your Facebook account here. Give me a second to punch in my information. All right, now that we have all of our information punched in and I remembered my Facebook password for this account, we're going to go ahead and log in. Of course, you have to give Line permission to, use your stuff here. I'm going to be censoring some stuff on the screen, but it'll just be my Facebook information. So don't worry about what's censored on the screen there. And then we're going to go ahead and log in with Facebook here. So the account that it is going to default you to for the information for Line is what it's going to have your Facebook name and image as. Don't worry about that. If you want to change it later, you can, but just go ahead and click register for now. If you really want to use the Line app, you can change it, but what you put in there does not affect Bucchigiri Match in any way. Now, it's going to sync your account data, and it is going to log you in to Line through your Facebook account. So you don't have to worry about going through the trouble of making a Line account. Now, we're going to cancel that because obviously that's trying to import our contacts. So now it should be connected. So let's go ahead and go to our apps here. We're going to go back to Google Chrome now that we are logged into Line. And it is going to prompt us to log in through the Line app again, because it technically didn't get it, because when we did that we were logging into Line, so we weren't necessarily like actually logging into the Bucchigiri match part of logging into Line, if that makes sense. Basically we weren't logging into the way to link it to Line, we were logging into Line itself. So we're going to click log in with the Line app at the bottom here, and it should take us to the Line app. It might take 1 second to load depending on your device. Since this Nox instance is running a little bit slow, it'll probably take 1 second to go. So I'll just cut, and when it goes, it goes. Alright, so I guess this is a good error for me to be having right now, because it is not letting me go directly to the Line app to log in, even though we technically did it with Facebook. So here is a workaround if this issue is something that you're running into. If it's not, I'll put a timestamp on the screen where you can skip this step here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to your Line app. You're going to want to go to your settings, account, and then as you can see here, there's no email address or password registered. So you're going to give the option, or be given the option rather, to put in your info, which I'm going to do here. Obviously some of this on the screen is going to be censored right now, so don't worry about the censored information. Obviously can't have nobody stealing my Gallic Gunfather son reroll, right? So we're going to punch in our information there. So this way now there is a password and I almost said password and username registered with your Line account. You do have to put in a verification code. So for that, you're going to go to your email. Obviously, you know how to check your email for a email, right? So just go to your email that you used with your Line account, whatever that may be. Go ahead and check your inbox and grab the code and paste it in there. So now you can log into your Line account via password and username rather than having it go through the Line account if that does not work for you. So let's hop over back to our Google Chrome to log into Line to back up our Bucchigiri match finally. So of course, if you skipped the last step here, you're going to just be able to auto log in with the login through the Line app, because it'll automatically do it for you. But if it doesn't work like it did for me here, you just log in with the email and password that you put in. Now, I would recommend saving it to Chrome just so that you know. Here is what's next. This is some very important stuff here. Obviously, this right here is just saying, hey, you want to make sure that you're allowing this app Enza to access your Line account so that you can link it. So you click allow. Obviously, you need those boys to be able to pair up together. Once you're done with that, it says, hey, your Enza account is now linked to your Line, and now your Bucchigiri match account should be linked. Here's the way to double check, right? What we're going to do here is we're going to take a look right there. As you can see, it says member 861E. That is currently the username. By the way, this is just a confirm button. And as you can see, it says right here, it is linked to Bucchigiri match now, and your game will appear right there. You can actually click on it and go right there. So if you remember, it gave us that default member name, and before our name was just guest at the top. I'll put a picture of that at the top of the screen. So if we know, or by the way, this is just telling us to add it to the home screen, which I'll show you how to do in a second. That is actually a good pop-up to give. So now we log into our Bucchigiri match account and we can check if it is actually linked. And as you can see, our name is right there, member 861E, and our account is linked. So that is how you link your Bucchigiri match account, and that is how you successfully reroll. And now we are pretty much done with the process, but there are two more things that I want to go over. One, logging into your Bucchigiri match account on a different device or another browser or whatever. and changing your name, because changing your name on this involves using the Enza account, and it's a tiny bit complicated, so I want to go over it with you. So we'll do that first since it's right here, and then we'll go into logging in on another, browser or whatever. So we're going to click on our Enza button here. Don't worry about all the notifications it's giving you. It's just, hey, welcome to the, website or whatever. So you're going to go back to that bottom button here that we clicked on before. Of course, before that, you're going to click on the colored buttons like I just did here. Here's how you go ahead and change your name. You're going to click on the little icon here. Obviously, it's going to have your name that they gave you, but you're going to want to click on the settings button, and all you got to do is type in here whatever you want. So we'll just type in Epic Mewtwo YT for the sake of the example, and you can change your picture, of course, if you want in your banner for the Enza account, but obviously literally all you're going to be using it for is linking to your Bucchigiri match account. So now that we changed our name on the account, we click the save button up here, which is blue. Now, as you can see, it says we changed the name, and we can go back to Bucchigiri match. We can actually just click the back button instead of going into it through there. It doesn't really matter whichever one we do. Might actually restart the game if we go back anyway. Yeah, it's gonna do it for me. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does restart the game when you just hit the back button. Doesn't really matter. It'll get you into the game either way. For me, it actually didn't restart this time, which is cool. But as you can see at the top now, my name is changed, so it is now Epic Mewtwo YT. So that's how you change your name if you want to do that. That is also sort of a way to double check if your account is linked. Obviously, if the name changes and you changed it on the Enza account, because that's where you're actually changing the name, and then obviously if the name changes in your Bucchigiri match account, you know for 100% certain your account is linked. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through how to actually put your account on something else, just in case you're using another browser to reroll or something like that, whatever the case may be. So for this case, we're going to just use the default browser here. Actually, before we do that, let me just grab a link to Bucchigiri. What's nice about the game is that any link, just like this right here, even though this is the link to the home page, right? The the Bucchigiri match page that is your default page, right? It will still go to the game from whatever link that you use that is the Bucchigiri match URL, which is nice. Alright, so just to kind of show you that it does indeed work in the browser, we're going to log into the account that we just linked on Google Chrome. I did kind of want to show that the game just kind of doesn't run super well on Google Chrome. I'm not sure why, to be perfectly honest with you, but whatever. It is logging us actually in here to our main account. So here's the other thing too. This is actually a good mistake to make because it'll help me note something for the sake of the video. If you're rerolling on multiple browsers and you have an account already set up, when you paste a link, it won't take you to the default page. It'll take you to whatever page you put the link into, because you already have an account on that specific browser. So if you do want to go to the home page again for that, perhaps you want to change what you want your main Bucchigiri match account to be, what browser you want to be on, whatever, you can go ahead and just put the default link. By the way, the link that I'll put in the description that was our initial link to get to the game works perfect for just going to the home screen. So that's what we're going to do here. Obviously, UI Goku's going to come through again. Now, here is the most important part. We're going to click on this button right here. As you can see, it's a little arrow. This is how we log in to our account. It's trying to translate it because Google Chrome. So we're going to log in through line once again. And it's the same process. If you're not on PC, you can do the thing where it will, take you to the app. It might do that automatically. It might say, hey, log in through app on the bottom. It'll take you there automatically. Or if you're on PC, did I just say PC for what I just explained? I meant Android. But if you're on PC, you can type in your information, or if it doesn't automatically take you to the app, or the option to do so doesn't work, then you can simply type in the login information that we just made, or rather assigned to our Bucchigiri match account, and now we can log in. This is another thing too. That's what the login error, or not the login error, the connection error kind of looks like. It'll say something different, but that was just saying that, hey, the old account is El Zippo, and now you got the account that you linked with your game. So we're gonna log in here, and then once we log in, our account that we linked to Enza and Line and all that jazz will be now in our Google Chrome. And like I said, what's really cool about this is that you can have both devices, or not devices, well, I guess you could have it on multiple devices if you want to, but what I meant to say was multiple browsers assigned to one account at the same time, so you can play, obviously not at the same time, you can't play it, but if you want to play it on your computer, you want to play it on your phone, you can go ahead and do that. And as you can see, the Epic Mewtwo YT account is now logged in on Google Chrome. So that's if you want to throw your account on another browser. So that is finally everything you need to know for your rerolling sessions. I know there was a lot of information, but I wanted to make it as detailed as a guide as possible, because I wanted to make sure that it was absolutely crystal clear despite all my stuttering. As you can see too, this is what I was talking about. For some reason on Google Chrome it just doesn't run very well. So if you're going to play it on PC, I would recommend Firefox. Regardless though, I just wanted to make it crystal clear how to do all of the rerolling and all the different steps, because I know it's kind of confusing since it's all in Japanese. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely let me know if you're going to start playing Bucchigiri match, what you're getting on your rerolls, and if you have any questions, definitely hit me up in the comments. I'll try and answer all the questions I can. As well, if you have any general questions about the game, definitely hit up the Bucchigiri match Discord, which I will also leave in the link in the description below. That's going to be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was a long one. It took a lot of work, so I hope you really liked it. Anyhow, I'll catch you in the next one. Epic Mewtwo out. Peace.